Hello, everyone. Welcome to the sampling guide for chopping. Uh, this is post World 4, and chopping is fairly straightforward, so let's just jump right into it. First off, we have World 1 bonuses. We're just going to go through them quickly because I've already said most of these. We got stamps, the stamps being base chopping efficiency. You're also going to want your multi-log chance. It'll help you cap multi-chance. So yeah, pump those as much as you can. Next up, you got your chopping statues. Pump them as much as you can. Easiest way to get them is through mining or choco chipping World One, and Feasty statue also helps. Next up, I actually haven't mentioned this in any of the other ones, but you do want to pick up as many of the bribes as you can. There's the one that with 2% skill AFK gain, so definitely want that. As far as star signs have gone, I'm opting for 2% skill AFK gain, the food effect, and the 4% skill AFK gain. I do not need the multi-log chance from the hipster logger, and the 5% efficiency I found to be slightly worse than skill AFK gain. All right, next up we have World 2. World 2, we have Alchemy, just in general, but the big bubble being the most important. Pump it as high as you can to get your multi-log capped without you needing the star sign. Next up, you got Mage's Best and Hocus Chopus. Hocus Chopus being incredibly strong. You got also Labrain Tools and the newer bubbles, Tree Sleeper and Severa Purple. I don't know how he wants to say that. You want to pump all those bubbles as much as you can. And Stable Genius also helps. The vials that are relevant for chopping, being the chopping efficiency one being the most relevant. You want to pump that as much as possible as well. Next up, we have obols. Pump as many obols as you can. Straightforward. For boxes, you want your chopping box, your food box, and your mana box. Mana box actually helps a lot because mana directly affects the Hocus Chopus. And as far as things go, mana is actually very incredibly hard to increase. So any amount of it you can get is a huge boon to your efficiency. You also have the Myriad Crate, which is base efficiency, which is actually very strong for what do you call it? Chopping. All right. So that is pretty much all of the World 3 bonuses. Let's go on to prayers, Braille Sampler, Skilled Dimwit. Simple, straightforward. And then talent books, you just want to get as many to your highest cap as possible. As far as talents go, the incredibly relevant ones are Smart Efficiency, Active AFK. You want your Book of the Wise as high as possible and your Mana Booster as high as possible. For tab 2, you want Mana Overdrive, Logs on Logs, Leaf Thief, Deforesting All Doubt, Individual Insight, Untwisted Robes. And then for tab 3, it depends if you're a wizard or shaman, but the statue bonus, the obols bonus, and Wiz Wumbo bonus are the most relevant. Next up, we have special talents. You want to get your Will of the Eldest as high as your highest character, TikTok as high as you can go. Toilet paper postage is actually working now, so it's relevant. You want your frothy milk. You want your printer sampling in case you need more sample rate. Super source and action frenzy as high as they can go, and that is pretty much all that is relevant. Pulsation doesn't increase your actual mana; it only increases your mana regen, so it doesn't actually help. Same thing with mana potions; they don't help you as well. So that is World 3 bonuses. It's pretty much just prayers, but I like talking about the talents when I'm at the talent book station. So next up we have chips and lab bonuses, pretty much. For lab bonuses, basically my recommendation is just light up literally everything that you can. The most important being doubled vials, doubled stamp, and the green jewel that gives base efficiency and skill speed, and the meal bonus, black diamond rumble, rhinestone. Uh, Apart from those, the Sapphire Navet, whatever the percent base stats, also helps. So You want to activate as many of those as possible. Shrines don't really do anything, or don't really, they don't do anything for chopping pretty much at all. The only one that can even affect it is the, not that one, Primordial Shrine, but if you have less than 80% AFK gains on chopping, then I doubt you have Primordial Shrine unlocked. Um, Next up, we have chips. I like both card doublers. Keychain doubler if you have a decent AFK keychain. Otherwise, just put in a base efficiency or skilling percent efficiency. Next up, we have the star sign doubler, the AFK percent doubler. You want the pendant doubler if you have access to the Persephone. If you don't have that, again, just pump in any skill efficiency you can. I actually found percent or base efficiency to be better than percent efficiency. So that may vary depending on your overall amount of base efficiency versus percent efficiency. I do not have access to the jewel that gives a bunch of base efficiency, so your results may vary. And then otherwise, we have the meals. Uh, you got corn, you got rice ball, and you have whipped cocoa. Those are your three meals that you want to pump. Those are basically all the world bonuses, but we can go through cards. So for chopping, there you will actually, I mean, you can use the same card set, but I prefer to have it too. You'll have a snapshotting card set and the card set that you're actually using to take the sample. And then as far as the actual card set you use, I'm sorry, that might have been a little confusing. But the actual cards you use, you'll have two different presets for cards. The actual card set, I found easy resources to always be best, but I think it'll depend on your actual AFK gains. And as far as the food effect, because there's only two boost foods for chopping, I found that it was always worse than skill efficiency. Again, go ahead and test it. It takes 2 seconds, but that was my results. For the cards that you're using, you're going to have one that pumps your mana as much as possible. And the ways to do that is through percent mana, base mana, wisdom, and stats. Those are the only cards I found to help. Then you'll swap, so you'll load the map with that on to help your Hocus Chopus alchemy bonus. And then you'll swap over to a card set that's pumping as much efficiency as possible, then AFK gains, then speed. That was the order I found them to be the most relevant. So next up, you want to make sure you have your M-Man Ham bonus on. I can go show you I have mine on. It is this character. So if I take it off, you'll notice the efficiency 791 versus 1339. So, M-Man Ham bonus, quite good. And then you want to make sure you have your boost foods on. You also want to make sure you have as much gear as possible, and then a gear will also be contributing to snapshotting bonus. So let's get right into it. So first off, I'm going to sample oaks. I don't currently have any oak sample right now, so you'll see this is 5.4 mil. But I don't have logs on logs active. But I'm not going to activate it yet. You'll see I'm just in the cusp of another efficiency breakpoint, right? So what I can do is do the snapshot. So I'm going to pump my wisdom as high as it can get. You'll see I gained almost like 800 wisdom or something there just by double opals, all these things. And again, it's just dependent on what you have access to. 334 or 3300, so actually I just gained a lot more wisdom. So you'll see our current bonus is, well, abysmal, but it was about 1330 something, 37 I think. So we're gonna swap that, or load all that, load the map with all those bonuses, and then equip everything again. And here was a point of contention. I actually found the Witch Hat to be slightly better than a stump prop. If you happen to have a stump prop with 0 upgrade slots in it used, and you use the World 4 stones, though, it should be better still. But because I was able to get enough wisdom on this thing, the stump prop actually lost out, which was kind of crazy to me. So, little tidbit there. Um, so swap everything back over, and you'll see that we gained a good chunk of efficiency from that. So we're at 1392 now, but let's see if we reload the map. You can see how much efficiency we lost. 1343. So gained almost 50 million efficiency just from swapping some gear out. Granted, I have to have access to that gear, but if you do have access to that gear, I think it's worth it. So I'll put it back on again just to get the bonus. Just wanted to demonstrate that. And it does stay until you reload the map, so 1392. Now then, we can see we're pretty far away from the next breakpoint, and that's fine. So we'll go ahead and activate logs on logs, make sure it's on your bar, active, and then boom, you see it jump up. So here is where I wanted to check if the power, I guess the logs on logs shouldn't change much of anything. So here is basically where we're at our end with optimizing. There's not really much else I could push here. So we'll go ahead and take that sample. Boom, 20 million. Not bad at all. All right. So I just wanted to do an oak sample first, because it's useful for pumping the base stats. I'm gonna take a look at my other logs. I would like to pump this librarian tools up, um, but I'm currently not sampling any sentient cereal. So, and I am going to get 2 choppers up. So I'm going to focus on getting logs that I just don't have a ton of, mostly for the green stack bonus or just pumping other random bubbles. Saharan logs is also good to try to max out the vial. So that's just the priorities I'm using. Again, it's dependent on where your account is. If you need some logs, you're going to have to, you know, decide what you need the most of. So I'm going to go ahead and go next on to um, the toiletry, I think. I would like to pump this bubble some more, I believe. Actually, how many slots do I have? I have 4 slots left. I definitely want to do the 2 new trees, the Saharan logs, and actually the Veiny. So we'll just go Veiny. Boom. And then as far as swapping things around per tree, I don't really bother. Once you get your first one that you're sampling as optimal as possible, you can technically move things around and maybe get 1 extra prowess tier, but I have found it to be a little bit more work than it's worth. So just gonna hit that. Next one will be Saharan. And then when you're sampling, make sure you don't accidentally, like if you hit the tree and then you might use up a boost food. Just make sure you don't lose out on the bonus just because you thought you had it equipped, but you accidentally used it. So, and then we're going to sample the 2 new trees, which I do not remember the locations of. I think it's this one. Yes. Boom, bam. And last but not least, the cube tree. Beautiful. And we'll go ahead and look at the samples. Turn one on. Oh, I didn't snapshot actually the mana every single time. So let's go see if that actually made any difference on the cube tree, for instance. I almost forgot that, but this is a good learning experience. Mhm. Alrighty, boom, bam. I actually gotta go hit the tree, of course. So I'm at 1392 now. So 720. I actually do think that got me an extra prowess tier, hilariously enough. And this is still worse. Yep. Hmm, crazy. So this is a good way to show, you know, just that one little step, how much it could help. So, yep, an extra about 19k per hour. Quite good. Just the way that mining and chopping work, the big pick and logs on logs are so powerful per prowess tier that taking that little bit extra time to try to pump out as many prowess tiers as possible, you'll see the results. So, yeah, I am going to go do that for the rest of these, but that's pretty much all there really is to chopping. It's not a very complicated skill to maximize, but it does have, its nuances with the whole snapshotting. And yeah, this was the card set I found the most beneficial. In order, I found it most beneficial to optimize for efficiency, then AFK gains, then speed. Again, it depends on how much you have. Um, of each of the stats, especially base efficiency. Base efficiency is kind of hard to push on chopping, so it's very, very beneficial. And wisdom also is quite strong. I'd actually recommend re-roll or like remaking a bunch of your skilling gear and then putting the new stones on them. It's just very strong. So that's pretty much all I've got to say on it, though. So if there's any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment below. I'm trying to go through the sampling series as quick as possible. Next up will be mining, and then I'll do mob samples. Hopefully, I'll have time to get all those done this weekend. And then next week, I'll start working on viewer requested um, videos. I'm going to have to do a trapping one as well because I got to replace my traps, so might as well. And yeah, and then once I get access to the jewel, the skilling jewel that I don't have right now, I'll actually be resampling, but I'm probably going to stream that over on Twitch. Some people might not know that. So that I stream over there sometimes. It's very infrequent, but I'm trying to be more stable about it. It's just real life has been a little busy, so yeah, I'll stop rambling now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks. Have a good one.